My name is T. Anthony Spearman. I am the pastor of Clinton Tabernacle AME Zion Church and also the president of the Hickory Branch NAACP. Yes, February 17th through the 27th of this year, a delegation of 20 people went over to explore the roots of migration. It was basically sponsored by the Witness for Peace organization, who have been active with doing vigils and what have you for over 20 years now. And so we went over to, and we went to 3 places there in Mexico. We went to Mexico City. We flew into Mexico City's airport, and we also traveled to Oaxaca and a countryside village in Sinagila. And for those 10 days that we were there, we were trying to see what it was that we could find out with regard to migration. A couple of the things that we came away with is that it would be a good thing for the United States to restructure their immigration policies and their trade policies. The second day that we were in Mexico, and specifically in Mexico City, we traveled to the Zocalo, where we were going to have a presentation done, and a couple of presentations done, and we were going to be doing it at the palace, the presidential palace. Well, it just so happened that there was a demonstration that was going on. It was a nonviolent demonstration, and when we first got there, there was no presence of any police. But then, after these people began to demonstrate, there were countless officers, and this was not the local police, but this was the federal police that came, and they just, with all their anti-riot gear, just everything. I mean, it was just an over-exaggeration of what was needed there to control things, and we were very much intimidated by their presence. There were hundreds of federal police. They drove up on these trucks and jumped off of the trucks and got in front of the palace and lined up in front of the palace, and they were even making very snide remarks at us when they discovered that we were Americans. Very, very unprofessional. They seemed to be trained in inciting fear in the people. For us, it was very, very scary.
Do you think the people there, natives of Mexico, were scared also?
Oh God, I know they were. I mean, you know, when they come on, just the atmosphere and the environment just changes drastically when they come on the scene. Now we did have an incident with some of the local police officers, and they just seem to not have any. They just don't. I mean, they're not professional at all. They just seem to exert their power on the people and don't care how they do it. And so, I mean, it's just, we were the military, I called it a militarized zone when I came back and talked a little bit about it. And when we went over to the U.S. Embassy and talked about it, that was one of the things that we focused on, that the militarization in Mexico I just can't talk about it. I mean, even when I just talk about it, it's kind of traumatic, because it was just an experience that made you feel as though your life was not worth anything, and it was incited by the police.